flipping the jersey around real quick.
Yeah, that's what people really wanted.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, well, much. Yep. Thanks, DeAndre.
So without further ado, I'll introduce DeAndre Yedlin. Pat, you'd like to ask the first question?
Yeah, sure. DeAndre, welcome again. And I guess starting out, when did you kind of get an inkling that FC Cincinnati was sniffing around about you, and what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, no, there have been some rumblings a few weeks prior, and for me, I'm always open to anything. I think I've been around the world playing, and I just look at every new place that I go as a new experience. So, I just try to be as open-minded as I can. I spoke to Matt, I spoke to Miles, and they had nothing but good things to say, both about the city and the club. And I've already seen that, in the first few days that I've been here. So I'm really excited to be able to experience this, the city a bit more. Obviously, I went to school in Akron, so I've lived in Ohio for a bit, but just in that one area. So I'm really excited to, up here be able to, kind of roam around and see the city. And obviously, I've played against Cincinnati with Miami. I've played in the stadium with the national team. So for me, it's probably the best stadium in the country, soccer specific. So really excited to play there as well.
I wonder what the emotion and thought process is for you leaving Miami team that pretty much the whole world knows about right now, and they're projected to do incredible things this year. But you come to an FC Cincinnati team that's maybe just a little more proven, just in terms of like winning the Shield last year.
Right.
Also projected to go deep in, be successal this year.
Yeah.
To go from one top contender to another top team, just what is that?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think you see it that often, that happening. But like I said, it's exciting. It's a new experience. There's obviously great players on this team. There's another special Argentinian 10 that we have as well. So I'm excited to get to work with him and see what he's able to do. And obviously, with Matt and Miles, I played with them before, so I know the types of players that are on there, great players. And like you said, the team has been one of the strongest teams over the last couple of years. So really excited to get just ingrained in the group and see what the culture is all about.
It's a little bit quieter here than.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is.
What was that like? And not to downplay what it's gonna be like here, but is there a sense of maybe relief not having that circus around?
No, it's like I keep going back to, it's just a different experience. I don't want to put a positive or negative on anything. It's just a different experience. And for me, I'm from Seattle, so Seattle's not the loudest place. So kind of probably feel a little bit like back home for me being here. My wife is from the Bronx, but her parents live in upstate. So she actually came here and looked around different neighborhoods, and she said it felt a lot like upstate New York to her. So I'm sure she's gonna love it. And the thing that keeps coming back to me is what a great place this is to raise kids. So I have a 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. So to be able to, hopefully, raise them here for a good amount of time is pretty exciting.
Go ahead. How quickly can you, Matt and Miles, I guess, joining at this stage of the season, how difficult is that to get integrated and up to speed?
Yeah, it can be tough. I think Cincinnati has a very, distinct way that they like to play, and I've played against them, so I kind of know what they like to do. I've had meetings with Pat, I've had meetings with Kenny, just going over kind of what's expected of me. And at the end of the day, it's this part of being a professional player is you have to adapt to different situations. So this is just another situation that I need to adapt to, and I'm sure it'll be great. Like I said, the players around me are great players, so I have no doubt that they'll be helping me out as well.
Caleb, and then you mentioned you had played here in the past. What stuck out to you about TQL Stadium? Just the experience playing here.
Really, like a lot of things did. First and foremost, the fans. It was great support. I think obviously when I was here with Miami, it's quite hostile to play here. When I was here with the national team, is unbelievable support for us. That was first and foremost as a player. I think it's super important. Second, just the stadium in general. You don't see a lot of enclosed stadiums in the MLS for some reason. So to have a stadium that it has a little bit more of a European feel, I think, which creates a better atmosphere. And then just the pitch, the field is incredible. You don't get that everywhere. So I'm excited to be able to experience that.
You said you called it the best soccer-specific stadium in the country. Why is that in your mind?
I just think the atmosphere that's created there. It's a culmination of all the things that I just talked about: the fans, the field, just the way the stadium's built. It's a beautiful stadium. Just a culmination of all those things.
You talked about like getting acclimated with the team. How do you feel like? I know it's early, but how do you feel like you fit in with what this team's got already?
Yeah, I think I fit in great. Like I said, they have a very distinct style of play, and I think the type of player that I am fits that style. So just try to be very vertical and get up and down and get in behind defenses and be a menace on the defensive side, and just work with everyone around, work together as a team, work together as 11 players or 18 or however many are on the roster, all moving in the same direction.
Go to Carter and then to Jeff.
DeAndre, a new number for you, 91.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different, unique.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the choice for 91?
My uncle, who's basically like a father to me, he wore 91 kind of all through his football career. So American football. For me it's a pretty special number. I have it actually tattooed on here. It's a pretty special number, and to be honest, my whole career I've played with a number that has 2 in it, whether it be 2 or 22 or 20 or 24. But this will be the first time that I kind of have a number that doesn't have that, and I think it kind of marks kind of a new beginning and clean slate. So I'm excited.
I'm curious about, because you had a long career internationally, different countries, moving from the States to England, Turkey, and back to the States, and it's all been transfers.
Right.
Is there a uniqueness to the experience of the in-league trade in that sense? Or?
Yeah, I think it's unique in the sense that I've never really gone through it before, so gonna have to try to figure it out. But the guys here and the staff and just everybody has made it literally as easy as possible on me. I think it's been one of the easiest transitions I've made, and that's with all of the transitions I've made. So that's really saying something about how welcoming everybody's been.
Okay, I go to Joe, then we'll go back to you.
As someone who's played a lot of high-level soccer, both internationally and for the national team, you know what high-level soccer looks like. I'm curious, for someone who's played as long as you, how do you feel like your game is right now? How do you feel like you're playing and what you have to give here for FC Cincinnati?
Yeah, I feel great. I'm 30 years old, which is kind of crazy to say, but no, I feel great. I still feel very fit. Still feel, like I'm sharp on the ball. My mind's still sharp. So I feel great, and I think I can add a lot to the team. And I'm just excited really to get started.
Back to you, Carter.
DeAndre, for those who don't know you, and we're still a growing league, a growing team, how would you describe your own game and what you bring to the club in terms of stuff?
I'll just say very energetic. I like to get up and down. I like to think of myself as a pretty selfless player. I don't care if I get a goal or assist as long as the team's winning. That's all I care about. So try to be as much of a leader as I can. It's just I really put my team before myself. I think that's probably the most important thing.
Back to you.
You said that you had heard rumblings about this possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us, like, where were you? What were you doing? Because you played on.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where I was when I first heard. But yeah, going into that game against Orlando, I knew that something could be happening. Just speaking kind of back and forth with my agent. So yeah, it was kind of a weird feeling going into that game, knowing like after it I could be, and not a lot of people knew. Not a lot of people knew what was going on. So yeah, it was kind of interesting feeling. But yeah, I don't remember exactly where I was when I first heard that there was interest from here. But yeah, it was some weeks ago.
Back to you, Pat.
DeAndre, the right wing back position was very consequential for FC Cincinnati's attack last year. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Did that go into? Did you weigh that, like how prominently the right back position features?
Yeah.
When kind of making a decision.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I know how important the position is, and how much value the team puts on it. So, I think for any player, you obviously want to be in a position that's valued. And yeah, that was obviously a component. But I think more so just being able to work with this staff and these players, and be at this club, which is a club that in the first few days here I've seen is a club that really cares about all of its players. It's a great feeling, and like I said many times before, just excited to get started.
Anything else? DeAndre, thank you so
Cool.
much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you.